Alright. Hi guys, welcome to our first attempt at a draft video. Joining me today is Raoul and Jack. We're going to do a Kaladesh Draft League, and I'll let the other guys talk a bit.
Yes, hi. I will predominantly be commenting on what Tom is doing and ridiculing him, I think. So he's probably going to make the correct picks and
definitely did not split the workload optimally here.
No.
That was my entire plan. You just stole it.
Oh, that's right. Oh well. Yeah, I'll offer some insight occasionally, but mostly going to be useless in the corner.
I guess my role is predominantly just trying to derail everything and stop.
Yeah, well, I mean, like Tom's going to want to pick like boring stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom's instantly
like,
on the mill plan. I can pick one. Master of Inquiries.
Yeah.
Minister of Inquiries.
Well, I mean, you know.
I think I'll get shouted at if I try to draft the Master of Inquiries deck by Raoul.
That's true. That's not fun, you see. Panharmonicon is fun.
I mean, Panharmonicon also works with that deck, so I don't know what you mean.
Sure.
You get twice as many energies to mill people with.
Exactly. I mean, we have very differing views on this format, so it's going to be interesting when it comes to actual drafting. Because I like 2-1s and 2-2s for 2, and you seem to think they're not very good.
I think that was no, I disagree. I think that was mostly because of sealed. In sealed, I typically don't dislike that type of stuff, whereas craft is fine. It's okay.
But isn't
much important?
Isn't the in the ideal sealed deck, isn't the ideal sealed deck basically to resemble a draft deck? So really, if you're building a sealed deck where you can have many 2-drops and have it look like a draft deck, you'll do that, right?
It depends if you have all the pieces together. Because like if one of the pieces is missing, then I think it's better to just look to have more solid cards in general. And also in draft people have less removal, right? So you're more likely to get there by curving out, and
Sure. I actually found one of the things I liked having the 2-drops for in sealed is to use them as removal. Like it felt very common. Yeah, like I know that you always told me you didn't like 2-1s because there's a lot of servos, which is true, but there's also a lot of 3-2s in this format, and
that's fair. Yeah.
Having a 2-1 for 2 trading for their 3-2 for 3 seemed okay a lot of the time. Like the number of times I had a 2-1 facing off against a Lawless Broker or the Herald of the Fair, I think it's called.
Yeah,
was actually pretty.
That card is insane, by the way.
Herald of the Fair.
I'm making an in joke, which is not particularly useful, but
is it insane? Well. It's decent. It was really good for me. Actually,
it's fine.
I used it.
It's a reference to.
Okay. I had it come up being relevant.
Spirit. Right. From the last set, which some people
in the
Magic community have called insane in capital letters. So yeah, we should probably talk about what's going on here.
I think we actually get to pick between like have fun or good card.
What's the have fun card? I don't see a have fun card.
There aren't any have fun cards. There are terrible cards and like reasonable cards in this pack.
There's Ancestral Recall in this pack. What do you want?
That's terrible.
Oh, please.
Reserve card, yes. Okay, let's actually think about this though. So Rhino is good. The Renegade is good. I'm not sure how great the Renegade is. Tidy Conclusion obviously good.
Yeah, this pack is a bit sad because the best color in the set is white, and there's just like you don't really ever want to kick a draft off with the Thriving Ibex. It's fine as filler, but you don't want to kick a draft off with that. Yeah. Your uncommons are also pretty underpowered in all things considered. I would probably towards the Aether Torch Renegade just because it's less replaceable. But
over Rhino? Okay.
Or I wouldn't be opposed to taking the Rhino either. I think it's just the fact that I prefer taking the card that's less replaceable. The Rhino is pretty replaceable, so.
I mean, Renegade is fine. Yeah. For sure.
We also kind of skipped over the Tidy Conclusion. I personally
Tidy Conclusion is fine, but I think it's too much mana to first pick and double colored, so I'd rather not first pick it most of the time.
Punished though, because Midnight Oil in the pack.
I'm not sure it's punished. I'm still not sure Midnight Oil is that good. I think.
Well, this is a Tom Law draft, so Ether Theorist is like the pick. Like.
Yeah, it's a 2-drop that makes me energies, and it goes well with my first pick as well.
then you're looking to go red-blue, which is terrible. I don't know.
I've been told it's terrible also, but like if you look at the rest of the pack, there's not really all
There's
that
a
much.
Jund operative. He's from Jund. Oh, that's pretty good.
Please, Rahul.
I don't know that.
Like it is between probably Midnight Oil Theorist and the Jund Operative in this pack. The rest of the cards are all very medium. Like if I was like pushed, I might take the Cobra, but I like the Theorist in general anyway. I quite like blue in this set because it's underdrafted, and Theorist is one of my top commons for that.
Yeah, I think Theorist is one of the good cards. Yes. Ooh. Well,
this pack.
We know what I'll take here.
Yes, we're gonna have a. So, I know what you'll say. You'll say to take the Cloud Blazer.
Yes.
And
that's what I'm gonna do.
And that's probably what I'm going to do, and that will put us into solidly 3 colors in the first 3 picks.
Well, I mean, like we don't really have to account for our first pick, right?
Yes.
Or
Well, you don't
any
have
of
to
the
count
first
for the
picks.
first 3 picks anyway. So this is just standard drafting.
We're taking the most powerful card in the pack because that's what we can do in the first few picks. That's probably important enough to highlight.
The other thing is, in this pack, the other realistic picks are probably impeccable timing, and the other cards are a lot worse than impeccable timing and Cloud Blazer. So if I'm taking impeccable timing anyway, I am still going into the same trap of having 3 colors. But really, like in the draft, the first 3 picks, your colors don't matter all that much. You're just taking the best cards, as Jack said.
Yes.
So we'll snap off this Cloud Blazer. If Modo lets me. There we go. Sweet. This is a really late Welding Sparks.
Sparks is real late, yeah.
Like
it seems to have exact same cards as the last pack, both Contraband Kingpin and Dragster. That's kind of strange.
Maybe they've managed to translate the awful print runs that they have in paper onto Modo.
Who knows? But it's uncommon, so yeah. But anyway, yes, Welding Sparks seems pretty clear here.
Yeah.
Would agree.
Not even particularly close, I don't think. Oh, look, it's my favourite card.
Yeah, well.
Pretty easy demolish here, I guess. Right? Okay.
Yeah, to follow up our strong red pack pick from last pack. Yeah,
yes, you certainly want to stay on colour, right? Well,
okay.
No.
So realistic options are what? Self-assembler and one of the blue cards, or are we, or this Voyager even? I think this pick is kind of strange.
This pick is difficult, yeah. Like, there's a lot of options. You kind of have to make a sort of a minor decision on what you want to do with your colours. I think the Welding Sparks tells us that the red is open. I can't imagine.
You would imagine so, yeah, but
this pack doesn't particularly, though.
No, but I think we have to try not to panic.
Okay, we need to make a decision here, though. I would take self-assembler just because I don't have no clue what's going on, and you can get more later. But otherwise,
I would
do
take
what you want.
Just because
okay.
it's my card, man. I can't say no to that.
I thought I was meant to be the guy who's like telling you to take garbage, but you're just doing it yourself.
No,
it's fine.
It's not garbage. Like, seriously, this card is legit. Like, you get 2, and it's just so good. Like seven energies, and you kill your opponent. It's not even that difficult to get to.
Okay, so let's take a 2-1 with no abilities.
Yeah. I think this Grubs is pretty easy here. Well, considering easy is what we have, but we can follow up our strong Ministry of Inquiry start by making a 2-1.
Yeah, I mean the giant is also good, but I guess this guy fits the theme better.
Again, more replaceable 2-drops are super important.
This was super late in the GP draft, by the way. Like, in all my drafts, this was like weird.
Yeah, I think the card's actually fine though. I think
it's fine, but I think the problem is because everyone is focusing on getting their early drops, you end up with a lot of those late.
Tom, Reservoir.
There's also a
Duskfowl.
There's also a Peafowl, yeah, but the Serpent, we don't have any artifacts yet, but I don't think that matters too much. Serpent is just very good.
Peafowl
is also very good.
Very good, yeah. I think the Peafowl has impressed me a lot. It blanks a lot of the format's creatures.
Peafowl is a great defensive card for sure.
Yeah, and the Serpent, whilst it's good, I think we're more likely to pick it up later because it's a coloured card. Like, Peafowl being an artifact does mean that it being this late is quite rare anyway.
I think that argument, like, I mean, it's a blue card. You can't really consider it. I don't think people will play like 4 mana 2/4. It's like there's a slight argument there, but it's not that impactful.
So how do we like the negotiation here? Well,
I don't know if it's good. We don't have any artifacts. So.
It's particularly bad in blue-red because blue-red does not have any fabricate guys. You don't have fabricate, guys. So the reason why this card is good is when you can fabricate things, and you just don't have that in this particular card.
Yeah, you need to have something like prophetic prism then and stuff like that.
I've never been able to cast this card profitably. Like,
yeah, I don't think we take it here. The Skygate does.
I would take Skygate.
Okay. I was actually gonna say I was gonna take the negotiation, but I can take the Skygate here. Like the reason why I don't mind taking
could be very wrong, but I don't know.
So the reason why I like taking these through negotiation there was because like we
can draft with it in mind, yeah.
Well, you can draft it with it in mind. It's also it's a less replaceable effect. Like you can draft other 2-drops that are defensive, but it's a very powerful effect if you can get it off.
Ether Trade wins clear pick here because we can bounce Cloud Blazer with it and draw another 2 cards.
I can't agree with you more, so let's go with that. The other realistic choice is Reunion, but I think that card is very medium in draft. So
you picked that for your modern deck.
Oh yes, the crab.
The crab.
Yeah, we'll take the on color cards for now. And
not that one. Come on, reasonable.
No, I'll still take this.
Surprising that Rats is.
This pack is all very surprising, really. I mean, well, there's worse cards than this, surely.
Decent commons, yeah.
I'm gonna take the vendor.
Adequately placed.
Just take the guy that blocks all our flyers, but sure. Take vendor.
Oh yes.
That's not a bad card. I've seen worse.
So
it's okay.
I was taking a lot of vendors as well, just like this in these kind of packs, just because sometimes you need to be careful that you don't have.
You fill up. Is that even that good?
Well, I'm not gonna not take it. Let's put it that way. I think we can make a pretty strong argument for splashing the white at this point.
I don't think like Tovin Bond isn't necessarily worth the splash, frankly, but that's okay.
But if you have a
we
Cloud
do it
Blazer,
because it's sweet.
Yeah.
So if we
I think there's often a fallacy of people going like, oh, because I'm already splashing, I'm just going to splash more cards. There's actually cost to that. You have to play more lands of that color. You're more likely to get stuck with cards that you can't cast. So just because you're already splashing white doesn't really mean that you, in my eyes, that you can just like play all the white cards.
Sure,
but we can do this because it's fun, and Planeswalkers are meant to be played, not played, right? So. And
like Planeswalkers are obviously. They will take over games unlimited, and because this is still quite early, we can prioritize certain things now. Like if we see a prophetic person, we can just take it a lot higher than we should.
And then
we're again taking cards and passing decent white removal though.
Sure, it's fine.
I'm not sure this. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Also, earlier you referred to one of the black cards as Jund Operative, Tom. It's actually called Dund Operative. I don't know whether you know.
No, thank you for correcting my silly mistakes. Obviously,
Dunned.
I just wanted to make sure while we have some time here. Yeah,
I feel like I've just been dunned.
Lol. Okay.
Oh,
the long
this pick is
fits right with our energy plan.
This pick is hard.
No, it's hard because like if you ignore the Ether Theorist, then it's
still quite hard. There's 3 pretty high picks here for me. I like the Ether Theorist because I like the describability.
I think there's no way we can with our current configuration pick the Theorist over the Whale, right?
Sure.
Well, there's also
unless we're like all in on this milling, which the Reprisal. I think it's closer between Reprisal and Skywell. And
I think that's the pick right now. But...
I think the pick is the Skywell, but I think it might be wrong. As in, I'm gonna pick the Skywell, but I think it is wrong. I think with the draft we have at the moment, it's probably more correct to pick up the Theorist, even over the Reprisal, because I think the Reprisal is actually medium.
It's probably reasonable to realize that you're not necessarily like base red at the moment either.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
actually, yes.
I think it is actually functioning between these two, but we'll pick the Skywell because it's harder to replace. I'm going to keep coming back to that. It's harder to replace.
Veteran Motorist. Thoughts?
Terrible. I don't
Pretty
know.
bad in this deck.
I don't know why we should give our thoughts on a card which makes no sense.
No. For me, it's so we're gonna have 2 choices. I think we have to consider whether we want to switch now to blue-white because the mechanic is a really strong 2-drop, and the only draws to red at the moment I feel is Welding Sparks.
Welding Sparks
and the Renegade. The Renegade is okay, and the Sparks is splashable anyway. So could realistically just switch to blue-white, in which case the pick might be the mechanic over the Windrake. But I think, on balance, it might just be better to take the Windrake and leave ourselves a bit more open and see where we
I like
go.
Windrake. Windrake is a good card.
I don't mind either. I'm not too sure myself what I would do.
I think I'm going to take the Windrake and leave myself open.
Sure, I can appreciate that. But like, there's all these pioneers.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't see any white pack one, so obviously we're seeing some white stuff now.
Yeah, that's also quite a common fallacy for players to fall
like
into.
if you switch color in second pack, that doesn't really make sense. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Axion is good as a if you want to hedge.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Then I think that card is good because otherwise it's between the Pioneer and the Giant in my eyes.
I think it's between the Pioneer and the Bastion. Like I think the Bastion is probably straight up the best pick. As in,
you think
it's
but you, like I mean, so if we were red, then you'd rather have the Giant over the Mastodon, presumably, is what I'm saying.
Yes, but
so that's why, yeah.
But
so yes, I agree that this is the better pick because it leaves us more open. But yeah,
but there is a call to take the Pioneer as I am now deciding to go.
I'm now deciding to go to white. Yeah.
But I don't think I'm doing that. I think I'll take the Bastion still.
I think that's fine.
Because then this might happen where I kind of want to go back into red now.
Take it Thriving Grubs?
Yeah.
You think I'll take Thriving Grubs?
No, absolutely not.
I prefer the Pyro Helix, to be honest.
Yes, me too.
So let's go with this card then.
Yes.
This card is really strong in this format. There's a lot of X1s. Like Thriving Grubs, for example. So you want to take this with your Cloud Blazer, right? Wrong?
Well, I mean, there's little question to that, yeah.
Draw 3 cards.
There's not
so many cards.
Really many things else in this pack to take, to be
No,
honest.
it really isn't.
Take a Terror of the Fairgrounds, which can drive the Demolition Stomper you're likely to just about wheel.
I was actually going to say that sometimes it might be worth taking something like this in a pack like this. Well, you want a finisher, right? I don't think we're lacking in finishers in this deck, but sometimes if you see a Stomper, like, when it's your...
Just in case your draft train wrecks horribly.
Yes, and then you need that. Yeah. Like, I don't think this is quite at that point yet.
Wow, okay.
White is really open. I think...
Yeah, sucks to be us, but I guess we take the Avery mechanic, yeah.
Yeah. Take a sideboard card then from this.
I don't think the Weldfist is that. The Wingsmith is that unplayable that you don't take it here.
I'd rather have the sideboard card, I think. I guess you can pick up those more later, but I would probably take the mod. I think this is actually just unplayable, but we'll go with what Raoul says for this one, because I think this pick is pretty irrelevant. We'll get...
I also think it's unlikely it's to matter much, but I don't think the guy is that as bad as people are making him out to be. I don't know. Like, Ruinous Gremlins is pretty much the same card as Demolish anyway, so...
Pretty much why...
Hi, Jack.
Hey.
Hi, Jack.
Okay. It's happening.
I take Reunion here. It's probably more playable, but... Oh,
so many hugs.
Okay, how are we looking in this deck? This deck is still...
Terrible.
Don't know what it's doing, does it?
There's actual... Oh, yes! We can drive this Stomper now.
That we don't have. We didn't take it.
Drat. I have no idea what's going on here, frankly.
We seem to be...
I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a shaky mana base. We just don't know which way that mana base is leaning.
I'm not sure about that, but I think we're still fine. Like...
It's okay.
Don't worry, we have Madcap Experiment.
Aha.
So I think
take the prism.
I'm actually gonna first pick the prism here.
Slam the prism.
Like, I'm not actually losing much in doing this either. Like my other pick would have been between Server Exhibition and Through Negotiation, and they're both not very good in this deck right now. Whereas Prism solves some ails with this
deck. Did you not
deck.
pick up the first negotiation, no?
No, we didn't. No.
Took something else out of that cache.
We should have. Should have potentially. I regret making a case against it.
More Skywhale.
More Skywell probably.
Skywell takes away this, so yeah.
As a side note, Thomas MODO rich, so doesn't need to take the Blooming Marsh.
I am not MODO rich. I just didn't see the Blooming Marsh. I just completely blanked.
Yeah. I was like, oh, tickets.
Yeah, it's also not that many tickets. There's like 2 tickets or something.
I have no idea. I was just.
Just wanted to point out that I'm MODO rich. You know.
Yeah.
When I'm not, just painting a target on my head to get hacked or whatever.
This is where you insert a donation link into the video. Please donate tickets.
Tom is not actually Moto rich. Tom needs some tickets, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Skyswap Harrier. Just to confuse you more. Or no, Tom, please.
I think that's fine. I think
this is the correct pick because if
what
we're
I
thinking
guess we're
about
definitely blue still.
if we think about what we might be doing, as in we might be taking out the red, then our 2 drops become a lot worse. And
no,
then
like
our
there's no question to me at all that this is what we want to do here. Take the theorist, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like we have a decent skies plan, as in we have 2 4-power flyers. That's pretty sick.
Yep.
So if we can come up the ground with random idiots, and theorist is great at both blocking early stuff and finding your evasion creatures. I'm not sure we're definitely white rather than red.
I'm just looking at what we need. Sure. If like the red isn't coming through, like we can see that it's being cut, right? So
well,
I think
our white cards, right? A Cloudblazer, Dovin Barn, Mechanic, and our red cards are
Welding Sparks.
Sparks, yeah.
But we're actually struggling for playables is my issue.
Yeah.
So we can't really. So yeah, Malfunction and Glint Sleeve Artisan, I think, or I suppose the Construct, but I don't think so, are what we are looking at here.
Mm-hmm.
Malfunction, I guess we don't really have any hard removal. It's not a great card, I think.
No,
it's okay.
But we do need a piece of hard removal, so we'll go with this. Oh, this is. I like this card. You guys don't like this card, I'm guessing.
I do. I think it's fine.
Where did the Shrewd Negotiation go? That was our first pack, right?
Yeah, it's this pack. There was a chance it wheels, but it's not.
So this is the kind of card that I really want with Shrewd Negotiation.
It just has random synergy. Not really in our deck, I suppose, but I like the white puzzle knot for that.
It goes on that plan of gumming up the ground, right? Like we were talking about just now.
Yeah.
Well, not by chumping, but by making their attacks not possible.
Yeah.
So the theorist can add to double blocks, and therefore it gums up the ground well. If we're actually thinking we're white, there's also the goat, and
I think our 4 drops are a bit too gummed up now.
That's also fair.
So
yeah.
I think I'm gonna take one of these 2 drops. I'm gonna take the puzzle knot because we already have a Skygate.
Sure. I mean,
and I obviously knew this was coming. So
got him.
Yeah, I mean now it's looking decent already. We can hand them a Skygate that doesn't block Longfin Skywheel, so that's fine. Ooh. Skyskiff doesn't really make sense in the deck that much, but I guess theorists can drive it. That's pretty fun.
Theorists can drive it. Your cogworkers.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, sure. I was thinking we had a more defensive mindset because this Minister of Inquiries is still in our deck for some reason.
It will stay there until the end of time, Raoul. Come on.
Okay. Well, it's because you can keep picking it up with every mechanic and recasting it from 1 mana to get some energy, right?
Obviously.
It's just like milieu, bounce my guys, crew my
So Torch Gauntlet, yeah, I was going to say is decent if you have evasive creatures.
Which we do.
Finish the game. We do, yes. Which fat man are we taking? Or are we taking Pressure Point?
I think we take Pressure Point here because I think we are light on actual spells, and if I can avoid playing this, I will try to.
Mm-hmm.
Is Inventor's Goggles better than Torch Gauntlet, do we think?
It's unclear to me. I think Goggles is mostly fine.
Because I don't want to take another Mastodon. I'm never playing 2 with a Cloudblazer.
Well, I mean, you could play the second Mastodon over the Hermit.
But I don't think I'm playing the Hermit either. I don't really want.
Oh, you just think you have just two 5-drops? Then I suppose.
Yeah, like I have 2 5-drops and I've got a Negotiation already. So
yeah, okay. I think it was not that clear. We should have maybe taken the green-white. I guess hate drafting doesn't make sense in leagues. Never mind.
I think hate drafting in general doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make too much sense, but like if you get it for free, then why not? Is my stance on it.
My 2 drops are looking excellent right now.
Yeah, we have 2 Skygates. I don't know how anyone can ever beat us.
Okay. How long do we get to build on this? Infinite time, right? So we can just...
Yeah, infinite time.
Cool. So... we want to... Well, I think we decided now we're basically going to be blue-white.
It's blue-white, yeah. I mean, that's how it turned out, which kind of makes some earlier picks a bit sad, but oh well.
Makes some early picks really sad. I don't want to play both equipment, so we should decide which one is better. I'm pretty sure the Gauntlets is better in this deck, because we have like 0 artifices, and you just want more power when you're flying, right?
Yep.
I'm not sure it's that clear, because equally, the Inventor's Goggles is quite a good defensive card, as in, if you put that on a Theorist, basically nothing can attack through it. It's a 2/5. Like, nothing can actually get through. And then it doesn't matter that you're, like... With Gauntlet, you're forced into a race situation, whereas with Goggles, you can sit behind a wall of round guys and then fly at them, so that's...
You have the free mana value from, like, Artificers, right?
I mean, that's maybe... I was going to suggest that we have a little look at how many of those we have, because I think all the 2-drops are.
These two.
Oh no, this is a rogue?
These two are Artificers. He's a soldier. He's a soldier.
This was a rogue. Okay.
Minister
So we basically don't have any... It doesn't matter too much, frankly, but it's nice to have a check for it.
Yeah, very few Artificers here.
Whatever.
You're not playing this on the basis of the Artificer most of the time. You're playing it for the stats. So I guess we need to decide whether we want the +1/+2 stats or the +2/+0 stats. I personally prefer for Skies to be +2/+0, but
yeah, I mean we can do that. I'm not too sure. We have some cards which are more defensive in nature and therefore make the Gauntlet a bit strange. Like if we assume we have the more powerful deck, then we'd rather have the more defensive card, but I'm not sure if that's true.
Yeah. The other straight cut, I'm going to cut this because it's just not going to work in this deck.
There's also 1-drop in your deck, which is for some reason.
I still think this is fine. I
would never just main deck this. I mean, as without a plan around it. Like you're a Skies deck with a backup plan of milling them if you draw your Minister and enough energy. I don't understand that that's the thing.
It still makes energy.
Yeah, but like we can't use energy usefully except for with Ether Theorist, right? And Theorists.
Have a tappy guy. This says one.
So it gives you one tap.
Okay, fine. We'll cut this on your behest, but on your head it be.
It's possible I'm wrong, but it just seems.
I'm very sad right now, just for the record. Let the record show.
You've made Jack sad. See what
Sadness.
You've done.
So now we cut Welding Sparks, or what?
See, like if we cut Welding Sparks, what we're bringing back in though, like.
You want to play 16 lands or what?
Well, the whole point of cutting the 5-drops is so that I can play 16. I can play 17, I guess. I can cut this and play 17. But then
the problem is we don't actually have that many useful creatures, right? We have 2 Sky Gates. That's a lot of Sky Gates, and basically the only way we're winning the game with this deck is with the Sky Welds, right?
I suppose so.
Does that guy win the game? He doesn't, does he? Like he draws you some cards, sure. If you can hide behind some sort of, again, like the Torch Gauntlet seems an odd. Can we race that well if we have 4 flyers? We are not actually.
We have 5 flyers,
sorry, yes.
6 flyers.
But you're not going to be like equip Torch Gauntlet to Sky Skiff. I don't think that's reality.
Sure, but having so. I think if you think about the flyers in this format, they're more likely to the things that will wall you in the air are 4 toughness, so Skygate and Skyswell, and if you have Inventor's Goggles, what
then
you end up is you still
yeah.
can't get past. Whereas with a Gauntlet, at least I can say trade and then get through you.
But that's more useful if you have a critical mass of flyers which is getting stopped by these things, which isn't really true for this deck. I don't think we'll ever have more than 1 flyer in play at a time, and most of them have 4 power already anyway. But yeah,
I kind of don't agree with that so much. I think we do have more flyers than the average deck, and if we can get past one of them,
no. But what I'm saying is that if they have a P-foul, and the P-foul is providing value when it's blanking multiple fires, because if you equip the Windrake and then with the Torch Gauntlet and then trade off, the benefit you get is that your other flyers can then attack, but we only have 2 more other flyers in our deck which even get blanked by that, because the Skywell doesn't care anyway. So that's my argument. And Skyskiff I don't really feel makes much sense as an argument, because
sure,
spending 2 men every turn to equip it seems a bit odd.
The other option is that we don't play the equipments and we splash the sparks, because we're playing this Prophetic Prism anyway, so it's like a free splash.
I think that's also fine. Well, it's not super free, frankly, but yeah. But my original point was we have 12 creatures with power, of which 2 have 1 power.
I don't know how we fix this. So you suggesting we play the Wingsmith? Because I don't like playing the Wingsmith in this deck or any deck, to be honest. Like I don't particularly. I guess I could cut a 2-drop. Like we have a lot of 2-drops, but for
my main concern was that double Skygate seems a lot. With 2 Theorists to block with as well, anyway. But maybe it's fine. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure where I stand on this Skygate yet, frankly. I'm not sure like replacing it with a creature enhancer is also weird. So
yeah, the Skygate is this is the home for the Skygate. Like you can't play it in many decks. Like this is the ideal kind of deck for it. I personally can't see what you would be replacing it with if we're staying in color. Like
yeah, it would have to be the
Wingsmith or the Hermit. I'm really not for playing another 5-drop in this deck. I can sort of get behind playing the Minister, but that's just me. I like the Minister.
I guess also the Skygate does help in the sense that it's something you can hand them with the negotiations, which we are kind of short on.
Yes.
And normally you won't mind that much in this deck, given that hopefully you
Most
have
of
a
my
Skywell
guys,
going on or something.
Most of my guys beat through it, and if I'm trading my Skygate for something, it probably better be good, right? Like
yeah, you're hoping to get an upgrade, and it's unlikely to just brick wall you completely, given the amount of whales in our deck.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think this is fine.
This is fine. Yeah.
Seems fine, yeah. I agree.
So land
Not
this
super
up.
excited, frankly, but like to make that clear, I think it's looking a bit
Seven,
weird.
5. MODO, please.
No.
I think we want more planes than this. We definitely just want the 1 mountain, but
I'm not so sure about that.
you like when you.
I think you're meant to have 3 sources for a single splash normally.
I usually just go with a single basic if I have if I have something like a prism effect.
Yeah, but
or
what I'm saying is, of course the prism is 1 source, but you would always splash if you didn't have. So say you were splashing something and you didn't have any forms of fixing, you would splash it off 2 basics.
Yes.
Okay.
Like that's how I've always done it in limited, and doesn't usually pose too many problems because I always view the splash as I'm more concerned that the splash screws me over in the main part of the deck, as in it affects the
as in you have mountains when you want islands or plains.
Yes,
yeah.
and I'm more concerned by that than not having the mountain when I need to cast a splash, which is usually why when I splash, my consideration for good cards to splash are cards which I don't need to cast on curve. Yeah. Like a Wilderness Box, it's usually great if I can cast it, and so on.
Of course.
Like so, you wouldn't splash a Thriving Grubs, for example.
No. I commonly would be medium happy about having a Thriving Grubs anyway, but yeah.
I think this is fine. 10-6-1 is how I would probably land this up.
I think there is an argument for going 9-6-2, but I like your argument makes sense. I'm just often happy to actually be able to cast my splash cards, and
different strokes, different folks.
You're right that it sometimes happens that you're then mountain flooded when you really can't afford to be. So
mountain flooded.
It happens a lot to me. Maybe it's a confirmation bias thing. It's just that if I ever splash off 2 basics, what tends to happen is my opening. So you keep a lot of 2-landers, and like my 2-handers become those 2 basics off my splash, and I'm just like, I wish one of you was my on color. Then I can actually
or even island, mountain, and then 2 white cards, and the rest blue cards is already like you're probably keeping, but it can easily go wrong. Whereas if it were a plains, I get it.
But, okay, so
sure. This looks okay.
Save this stack. Right, I'm gonna take a break from here, and then we're gonna come back and play some games.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have food too. So.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you for joining us. See you in a bit. Bye.
Bye.
Yo.